H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And today, let's see, and today is Women Rock Wednesday. Of course, women rock every day on the Chop Shop, but today is special, special, special. And we gonna get it popping. I mean, I had great time last night. Waiting on people to come in. There go Rod Wells. Rod Wells, y'all got to forgive me today. I got my allergies ain't playing today, but I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it do what it do. Uh, interesting things. Let me put the mute right quick. Want to mute. I had to mute you right quick. I didn't want y'all to hear me. But what's up, everybody? Brad, what's up, Doc? Brad, I'm calling you right after the show. Uh, need to see you. I think I shared it. I think I shared the show with everybody. Uh, Women Rock wins. I had a great time last night at the let me see, what is it? Last night. I was at TSU. Let me tell you something. TSU basketball, TSU facility, the people over the facilities over there put on. If y'all hold on a minute, let me play something right quick. And I'm gonna give y'all some right quick. Let me just give you a little. Oh, I'm gonna give you some. Let me give you this.
Was he wrong?
He was wrong. He was wrong about some things, yes.
See, I'm from the era where when you introduced a superstar or the stars of the league, it was all positive. I'm 42, right? When you think about 92.
That's back. I had to adjust my pitch, but we'll get back to that. I still got this in my ear. Nobody told me. Yes, rest in heaven, rest in power. Sylvester Turner, a former mayor, uh, um, Congress representative to Congress. He passed away. I didn't know what was wrong with him, but he looked a little sick when I saw him, and I didn't never ask nobody about it. But you're right, Jeremy Davis. Uh, great guy, great man. Did things. Met him on a couple of occasions. Didn't know him that well, but trying to get the right temperature in this room because my allergies are killing me. But I'm going to get through this stuff. Brandon Weefall, what's going on? I see you out there. Where my women at? I don't see no women on there yet. Y'all, it's Women Rock Wednesday. I'm gonna pause a minute until the women. Where the women at? And I need some people to explain to me what's going on with the young man Caleb Wilson, young man who was just pledging, wanted to be a part of something, and I'm not an authority on the Divine Nine. I'm not. That my girl, Nancy's there. Hey, Leanna, I'm not an authority on the Divine Nine, and I don't know what goes on, but I talked to some people, and talking to people around the country, talking to people, and explaining me some stuff. Man, it's all I think about is if it was my son, and I don't know if the reports were right. I was not there, but I heard that being initiated to some of these fraternities. I know that's why I never pledged, because I had got wind of what one guy who said they was going what he gonna do to me, and I didn't want my brothers and to get in trouble, and me to get in trouble because I already know if something had happened. it was going, yeah, yeah, it would have been different. So, um, Caleb Wilson, him and his family, my heart goes out to you. All you wanted to do is be part of something. And I tell my young men, man, you know, I don't know, because I just never had the desire to want to be a part of something like that. I just never, nothing against nobody who has. But some people, their whole identity is tied up into being a part of a group. I just like being by myself. I didn't. And it rubbed off on my son. It rubbed off on my daughter. I never told them what to do, but I just told them, you already got a family. You ain't got to be part of no other family. We got each other. So um and to you people, because I know some of these fraternities and sororities, they do great things, but trying to intentionally harming another human being, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand up there and hit somebody in the chest over and over everybody. I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I just, now if you do something to me now, we're gonna fight. But I just don't understand it. I understand it, and my heart go out to those people, Jerry, Leanna, and you see who I got. Boy, them some bad girls behind me. But let's see, what else? The two of the nation's best players in basketball were on display at TSU yesterday. And let me explain something to you too. To all you people getting mad about TSU because you couldn't get in the event last night, right? First of all, when you go in events like this, you got to get there early. You can't come. The game started at 7. You got to be there before 7. And then you can't be on the phone, texting people trying to get. TSU did not control that event. UIL, what's the name of the place? HISD. They controlled the venue that night. They just rented it out from TSU. Okay, TSU controlled the venue. I mean, did not control the venue. The venue was controlled by HISD. So when people couldn't get in the building last night, don't take it out on TSU. Because there was a bunch of y'all out there. I saw the video. Somebody sent me a picture of it. Got to get there on time. And they was asking me, is it full in there? I said, yes, it's full, but some more y'all could have got in. But for some reason, I don't know, maybe HISD people could tell me. I did not ask them because I didn't know until later. But it was a pretty good game. It was all right. Just saying, I mean, it didn't turn out the way. I mean, I would. Only thing I was impressed with this young man right here. Let me tell you, I was impressed with this man right here. I was impressed by him, the way he used his stature and his size and his body to punish those little high school players, and I love that. I mean, I haven't seen nothing like him in a long, long time, and I put him on. He's just putting him in the rim every single time, and shout out to him, Coach Sampson, U of H coach. The U of H players were in the building, and it was just a unique night. I'm glad I went because somebody at first I wasn't gonna go 'cause I was just gonna watch it on TV. I mean, watch it online. But somebody told me, Robert, these two highly ranked guards, highly ranked players in the state of Texas, you need to be there. So I said, all right, I'm coming. I come. But guess what I did? I got there early. I got there early because I wanted to see. You know what? But I got there early, and I'm glad I did because in the midst of one of the biggest games in his life, I'm just walking by, walking by Bel Air shoot around, and Coach Glover just stopped me and said, I waved. He said, "No, man, come here." Man, and gave me a hug, man, and I'm just glad, you know, great dude, man. I've been around that dude a long time. Not my son don't like him that much, but because my son played against Bel Air, he don't like nothing Bel Air. I didn't even mention to him like what game out. He don't. He like when he used to come to town. Glover would give me the gym. He said I refuse to work out at that gym because they had a heated rivalry between uh, 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 West Side and Bel Air, and he taking that rivalry for the rest of his life, I guess. So I didn't even tell him I was at the game last night because I know he was, well, watching that man. But had both teams were beating the air out of the ball last night. Rod Wells, you saw that, right? See, Rod Wells, you saw that. Rod Wells, you just start picking up on that. They dribble too much. Sheldon put on a show. Man, some more boys, yes, he did. Bel Air set the tone early in the game, and Brennan looked shook. Absolutely. Hey, Lady B, how you doing? Sonya, what's up? Sonya come on here messing, talking crazy. Talking about where Paul at. Paul ain't coming on today. We talking about Bel Air right now, man. I was at that game. So we talking about Bel Air. Can we finish talking about Bel Air before somebody come up here talking about some damn Katie Joy? We talking about Bel Air right now. Huh? We're gonna get to all Jimmy gonna come on here and talk about all the game. Right now, I wasn't at the Jordan game. I don't know what the hell happened at the Jordan game. Shout out to Jordan for winning. But I'm talking about Bel Air. Can't we stay on task? Can't we just stay on task? Wow. Man, you can sit up here and talk about you can sit up here and talk about somebody. Then somebody will always come in. So, great win by so and so. I can sit up here and talk about a great thing that Lady Barron, son, Barron up there in Brown doing. Somebody gonna say, "Well, so and so it happened." Hey, can we just stay? I ain't even mentioned Jordan yet. We're mentioning Jimmy gonna come on here and he gonna mention all of that. I was at the Bel Air game last night. Shout out to Bel Air. Let me finish. Can I finish talking about them first? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. What's up, Craig? West Side of Bel Air. He don't like Bel West Side and Bel Air. Yeah. He don't like Bel Air. I'm serious, y'all. My son just do not like them at all. I mean, seriously. I mean it's serious. Now he's 30 years old now. Still don't like Bel Air. I mean, it's crazy, but yeah, I like Coach Glover. Shout out to Bel Air. They going to play Duncanville in the finals, and just unique. That's the game. And another game that I happened to see on why I was watching that game. Y'all got to realize Memphis was on, so I was watching the Memphis game. I was watching the Bel Air game live, and then on another device, I was watching. Westbrook. I had to watch my young fella, Elijah Garrett. I had to watch. Y'all got to realize it's certain kids that I have a relationship with, and I know. So I'm gonna talk about them first. This ain't my job. I don't cover basketball. I don't have any events. I just have people. I talk about people that I see, and I cover. I saw that game. I saw bits and pieces. Shout out to Elijah Garrett. 31 points in a big game. Little young guard, man. He's just a winner. Terry Satcher, just a winner. It's just a winner. Paul Miranda there, man, ain't nothing to say about the Paul. I wasn't paying attention to Paul anyway. So that's why what did Paul say? I didn't know what Paul said. Paul, what did you say that Sonya said, congratulations to Ballard, to Wheatley, Fort Bend Marshall, Katie Jordan, Beaumont Westbrook, Booker T. Washington, go get it. Graduate to all of them, but all of them guys. All graduate there. But I went to see the Ballard game. I watched Westbrook, and I watched Memphis last night. So shout out to Houston Ballard. We don't. What did you say, Paul? What did you say? Because I don't remember what you said. What did you say that? So did you think that Brennan was gonna come in here and beat us? And the score is not what it indicated. That game should have been out of hand a long time ago. We just had some people on Ballard team that just them ball beaters just wanted to throw the ball out of bounds and throw it. Man, I ain't never seen so many passes thrown out of bounds in my life. Just do to somebody. I mean, it's just dribbling. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Shout out to Ballard. Sheldon Henderson is a bad. Yeah, he's good. We've already know he's good. We had to, everybody else. What shit he going to do? Sheldon Henderson did what he's supposed to do. But the man had 26 and 20. 26 and 20. It ain't talking. He said, we ain't talking to Paul till Saturday after Houston go down there and get the sweep at DFW. Okay. I got you. I like that. Game was never close. Absolutely. Duncanville is in trouble. Oh, wow. He just thought the kid from, oh, that's what he was talking about, the young man. Talking about he compared him to Cason Wallace. Yeah, thank you, Sonya. You didn't push my buttons. I didn't even think about you today until Sonya brought it up. But you ain't really pushed my buttons. Paul, I've been around you long enough, man. I know you're talking with y'all. You just want the people to be good. That don't mean they're good. You want people to be good. You compared this man. The young man didn't look like Casey Wallace last night. He can play. I love him. He gonna play for U of H, and I'm gonna cheer for him. But last night he seemed like to me. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something about me. If I know, and I got the stat somewhere. It's in my office. God, but let me tell you something. If you can't do something good, don't do it. If you're not a good shooter, don't shoot. Watch this. Watch this. I want to show you something.
The world to me. I came in as a freshman. I told these coaches I was going to get them there 1 year.
Sure did.
And this is the year I got them, my final year. So I put my all into these coaches. They give their all back to me. I give my all to this team. They give their all back to me. So without them, I don't know where I would be. And I couldn't do it without them.
One thing about sports you have to love sports because it really is the one common denominator that most people, when the Rockets are winning, when the I'm a Laker fan, when they're winning, when the Texans are winning, no matter where you go, that you have a conversation piece. And that's kind of what's happening now with these guys. They have conversation pieces about the Bel Air Cardinals basketball. Every now and again, you kind of hear a little, Bel Air, HISD this, HISD that. HISD doesn't do this, HISD doesn't do that. No, well, proof is in the pudding. Read it and see where they all are. So I'm HISD proud.
This means the world to me. I came in as a
Man, I'm so happy for Glover. It just don't make no sense. I'm going, okay, the fourth period. Hold up, I'm trying. First half. Let me see. So it was 4 minutes left in the game, y'all. And I got, they gave me, I'm telling y'all, I got up and left. I'm going to tell you the truth. Kingston Fleming was 0 for 6 from 3 points. Man. 0 for 6. But he missed some free throws now. I like that about him. Let me see. He had 3 assists, 3 turnovers. Let's see. Let me keep looking. You got to understand, to whom much is given, and this man had the nerve to put on this feed on the Chop Shop, as long as he been watching the Chop Shop, and he said something. He said, he had a bad night. I thought our saying on here is no such thing as a bad game in a big game. If you can't shoot threes, don't shoot them. Don't shoot them. Yeah, Shelton was turning that thing over. Yes, 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 yes. Glad you brought that out. But Paul, you worry about David Peavy, but the other night you talking about this guy was the same. I don't need no final stat sheet from you. I can pull it up, Paul. Sheldon Henderson won the game. He had 26 points and 20 rebounds. Ain't nobody in the States around here can say they did that this week. 26 and 20? 26 and 20 rebounds, and you worried about, I don't mind if he had 100 turnovers. Paul, I'm going to let the man going out and having 26 points and 20 rebounds, I'm going to let him, he can turn the ball over a little bit. Because you know what rebounds are mean? That means you got me extra possession. Let me see how many. Offensive rebound. And I ain't got, he didn't. So hold up now. Hold on. So send me, let me get this. I don't have but the third quarter. They stopped me at the end of the fourth quarter. Hold up. Let me see. He got it. Okay. This man got it. Okay. Sheldon had. Oh, he had 20 rebounds. Oh my God. So guess what that did? That meant he prevented, he got every, he rebounded every one of their misses. But that particular day belonged to him. Doc. 20 and 20. 20 and 20. Bel Air we got to get better ball handling out of our guards. They just turned the ball over for him. They was just running right into where you. I said, golly, they just ain't got the head up. I don't know. I mean, they're young. They're young. Cause guess what? College players do it too. Evidently, pros play it do it too, because a 20-point lead is never safe in the pros. So, but Sheldon won. And he's going on to play against Duncanville. And let's go Houston versus Dallas. And I'm Houston all day long. Anybody playing against anybody else, if your team is based in Houston, I'm cheering for you. I don't even have to know you. I don't know nobody on Wheatley. I don't know nobody on Jordan. I don't know nobody on what's the rest of them teams? Who else? I know the coach at what's the name? Thurgood Marshall, but I don't know none of the players. But what else? Who else you put up there? See, yeah, I don't know all them players. I don't know. I have to have a connection with you. I don't look for teams. She said, "Oh, Beaumont Westbrook, y'all, you know I know that player." Booker T. Washington, I don't know nobody on that team. And but shout out to all of them. I'm on your side. But Elijah Garrett, let me tell y'all something, because might not hear it a lot from people, but Elijah Garrett had 31 last night in Beaumont Westbrook's win. Okay, let me repeat it again. Elijah Garrett. I don't know nobody on Booker T. Washington. I don't know nobody. Only connection I got with Booker T. Washington is Sonya Billingsley. Ken folks play for them. But Elijah Garrett had 31 last night. Let's not forget about that, everybody. The point guard, number 5 for Beaumont Westbrook, had 31 last night. I'm gonna keep saying it again. 31 last night. You know, because we're not, you might go hear, y'all ain't gonna put it up on the screen. I know it, because some of y'all is, you know, maybe some of y'all like me. Y'all don't know Elijah Garrett, so that's how I talk about the people that I know. I don't. Washington does it by committee. They don't have a star. I don't know. I know Sonya got a nephew on their team, so I cheer for Washington. And I know that coach who was there a long time ago. That's how I am. I said it all the time. He said, Jermaine Cooper said one more time, Elijah Garrett. How much my boy Terry Stature had? Because boy, I saw him. I saw when Elijah got tired, Terry Satcher had to take over the point guard duties, the ball handling duties. That y'all, is all right for a guard to be able to do both. I get sick of y'all. He ain't no pure point guard to me. He ain't no pure PG. Ain't nobody no pure PG. Nobody. Man, these guards got to know how to put that thing in the basket now. Because what? He playing against another dude that's going to put it in the basket on him. Satcher had 15. That's all I need. That's all I need. Kimball is a tall task for Booker T, but let's go Houston. Okay, I guess Kimball is good. I haven't seen Kimball play. But like I told y'all yesterday, it don't matter. Duncanville will come back to San Antonio and win again. I didn't hear you say that yesterday. I ain't see you say that yesterday. We'll see you. When the next game? The game is this weekend, right? Duncanville guards are small. I don't see who's going to be able to go. Man, Sheldon gonna punish them little old kids out there, man. 5 is a junior. Calvin Dwayne Tyler, if you talking about Elijah Garrett, I know what grade he in. Are you talking about number 5 for who? Who you talking about? DeVeda. I got another. DeVeda said exactly. What did I say? For you to say exactly. What did I say? DeVeda? DeVeda, exactly to what now? It's Women Rock Wins. I want to know who you're talking to. Exactly. Paul, I didn't see you say. Did anybody see Paul said, yesterday said, it don't matter. Duncanville, wait, what he said? I didn't hear him say this yesterday. Will come back to San Antonio again. David Peavy does not lose in it. I haven't heard you say that. I didn't see that. Did anybody else say it? Kimball's pretty good. Kimball, I've heard about Kimball. I never seen him play, but I heard about him. Washington's going to shoot the piss out the ball on Kimball. Okay. Westbrook Garrett is a nice guard. Is nice. I just talked to him. He had 31 last night. Are y'all listening? Elijah Garrett for Beaumont Westbrook had 31 last night in a big game. Some people don't think he that good, but I think he all a bit that good. Somebody pointed out to me something last night. Robert, whatever you say about that little boy, he just wins. Whatever you say about Terry Satcher, he just wins. Ladies and gentlemen, put some respect on Elijah Garrett's name, Houston, Texas. I know he's from Beaumont, but all of these our kids, especially the greater Houston area, put some respect. He had 31. He just constantly wins. He constantly wins. What they say, all I do is win, no matter what. Oh, about the true-point guard, they need to know how to shoot. Yes, everybody got to know how to put the ball. Listen to me. If I was a college coach, I'm looking for shooting. I always want the dude that can shoot the basketball because I know that's a skill that everybody don't have. Doug Jones, I'm sorry. I know the name of the game. We keep scoring. We keep stats. They ain't got no stats for everything else. Now, defense and all that, those are intangibles. I love them. But the analytics, they don't talk about defense. The analytics talk about putting that thing in a hole. Number one, that's efficiency. Not turning that thing over, rebounding, and free throw percentage. Those are the three main analytic metrics that they use. Okay? So whenever y'all talk about analytics, these are the three main things. It's called field goal efficiency. How you know how efficient you are. Then we got the second was turnovers. Because if you turn the basketball over, you're giving the other person another possession a chance to score on you. Right? The third one, what's my third one? I said it's in my mind. I'm gonna get it. Turnovers. Did I say turnover? Turnover. No. Rebounding. Getting somebody an extra rebound, an extra possession, offensive rebound, extra possession. And the third and the fourth one is field goal. How many times you get to the line? How many times you get to the line and make your field goal? Those four metrics in basketball, that's what I look for in a player. So if I got a player that can put that thing in a hole, like Elijah Garrett, I don't care what nobody say about it. I want him on my basketball team because his little ass just win. He gonna come up with a steal. He gonna come up with the loose ball. He gonna come up with the 50-50 ball. He gonna hit a crazy shot. He gonna hit a dazzling shot and look over in the stands and say, well, "Yeah, what's up?" I mean, I just love it. I just love it. But I'm gonna bring Jimmy in. Jimmy, come on. You caught me right there in the middle of one of my diatribes. And cause you know people talking about I get sick of these people. He ain't no What is he? He a basketball player. See that? I love Isaiah Thomas. That's why I'm my favorite player because he always said, Jimmy. He always said, "I'm not a point guard. I'm a basketball player. Just put me on the floor, coach." I love Damon Stoudemire. Well, I never forget when he was going to Arizona. Arizona wanted him. So they signed Khalid Reed first, a point guard. Khalid Reed, another top player in the country, right? Damon said, okay. You know how most of y'all, man, I don't think you should go there, man. You ain't gonna have no minute, man. They got Khalid Reed. That's what people in Houston say. Don't go to that school. That was Damon Stoudemire said. Well, Lute Holston got to have a hell of a decision. I said, what's that? He said, he got to play both point guards at one time because I'm playing. And guess what? He went there and both of them started. Yo, respect. Hey, don't let nobody tell you about your game. Don't let nobody tell you about your game, young fella. You win everywhere you go. And that's how I just forget what these other people say. That's why I'm glad I saw him play myself. Because if I listen to these people, he ain't this, he ain't this. I don't care what you say he ain't. I tell you what his ass is. You give me your point guard, he gonna bust his ass every night. I don't care if he's a senior. And y'all, I don't believe in that. He ain't but in the 10th grade. I told Jimmy last night, if his ass on varsity, I don't give. If his ass on varsity, he fair game. I don't want to hear about you in the 10th grade. Well, take your ass and get on a JV team. If you suit up for a varsity basketball game, I expect for you to play. Somebody else expect for you to play. I don't want to hear about he in the 9th grade. Well, put his little ass on the 9th grade team. Robert Hatter ain't letting you go get off that easy. But what's up? I ain't seen no comments because when I'm talking, I don't look at the comments because I had to talk. What's up, Jimmy? let me turn this air on up here, man. I done got hot in here.
Your thermostat flickering today, huh? Let's get this thing popping, man. Yeah, it's a good Women Rock Wednesday. That's what this is today. And I'll start off, I guess, with the my thesis is,
Thesis.
and
I
some of
like
you guys probably really don't think about it, and you really don't think it can happen to you or towards in your direction until it does. And that is, just listen. You hear this so much, I don't think you really pay attention to what the statement is. There's a reason that upsets are called upsets. There's a reason. And nobody can see it coming. Every time you say it, people discount it, they swipe it. It's like you swipe left. Man, it's a reason upsets call upsets. Oh man, get out of here with that. Then when it happened, your mom. You can't believe it. Then you don't want to talk to the person you want to talk to. All the hell many of y'all want to do is talk before the game. Then when the upset comes, you don't even want to talk. Leave me the hell alone, man. But oh man, why you? Let's talk about something else. No, ain't nothing wrong with just talking it through. Then at the same time, the person just want to get.
Yeah.
Some people keep some stuff bottled in until they'll wait and let the rest go after the fact, and it works both ways. And that's the part of understand. That's the part of 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 watching sports, I guess, as a culture. I can't speak for many other cultures, but I do know that I can speak for being black. Many black rooms, barber shops, chop shops, they everybody becomes professed in their own right when they're dialoguing about sport.
Yes, I love it.
It's therapeutic in a sense, especially as a man. You can release some good steam talking some good stuff. And guess what? And you play ping pong back and forth with a guy in the barber shop or wherever you're at. And guess what? It's cool. But it releases a lot of tension that can otherwise a guy could take home and a guy could take to work. It's just in some cases. I'm talking about for everybody. So as we move on, and for the first time in a long time, I went back because I nailed a couple of topics right on the nose yesterday in my previews of some of these games. So I went back, and in a very rare occurrence, I mean, back in the good old days, matter of fact, going in this spring, I had to go back and reach back into the hands of time and invite another intern to work with the Chop Shop. They used to be able to pop them clips up for us and chop them and splice them for us and have them ready for us. That way we can spin them on out. But that's another topic. But what I had got right on was one was you asked what was the secret sauce in Bel Air, and this immediately without even taking a breath, Sheldon Henderson. Then I went to explain. You asked me, well, why? Which is a great. It's how you supposed to ask. Don't let this ask to get understanding. And I broke it down. If you guys didn't watch, I'm just paraphrasing. That Sheldon had grown to believe in his teammates. He had grown to finally to believe in his coach and his staff enough to come and give this thing another go. It was for a small moment, guys, that it was widely believed that Sheldon Henderson was seriously contemplating leaving Bel Air High School for greener pastures in one of those EYBL scholastic programs out of state. And you know, I think for a moment, a month ago, I'm just gonna go on the plank. I haven't spoke with Sheldon or his mother or his father about this, but I'm just gonna go out there and walk the plank on this one. I would be willing to bet one of my pockets, not the right one. I bet my left one. That at one point about a month ago, Hatter, or a month and a half ago, when that McDonald's All-American rosters were released, that somebody within the household or in Sheldon probably sit down and second guess. At that time, remember the playoffs hadn't started. Man, I should have left. I probably would have made that team, that McDonald's game, had I left and went to Boogaloo Prep. You know, I'm not saying he did that. No, I'm just saying I'm just guessing. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, that's reading the book from the front. Now you look and read the book backwards. All he did was took that. And I said it after we got off on one of those shows after they announced that. I say either Sheldon Henderson and or Kingston Fleming is going to have smoke coming out there. If they're the players that I expect and that I've evaluated them to be, it's going to be smoke coming out their nose, and they're going to take it out on everybody in front of them to kind of show and prove that a grave mistake was made or a mistake in their opinion. Your actions gonna show that, and that's what Sheldon Henderson understand. A lot of people in Houston, Hatter, were not pleased with Sheldon Henderson this regular season. Why is that?
Wait a minute, who
And
wasn't pleased with it?
I said there were a lot of people in Houston that was around, and I'll explain to you why. What I mean by that, we're not pleased with him because they felt that. You remember when a few years ago when the Toronto Raptors won the the NBA title. Remember that? And they had Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah.
And Kawhi Leonard had came from the Spurs just the year before, and he was doing a variation of load management. What people thought, and he was aching in a degree, but that's when the term load management had just took off and became a common phrase. Well, Sheldon Henderson suffered a back injury back in November, and it forced him to miss like 11 of his first, maybe 12 of his first 20 games. And he would miss games at certain events and in Houston, and then he would play in certain events out of town. And then people would think was whispering, well, man, if he hurt on this day, how he gonna be? Well, he did. Well, that ain't my question to answer. And so people, I guess they were not pleased because people felt they got discounted because they did not get to see him in a certain matchup that they wanted to see him. And guess what? Kind of like Kawhi. We grew displeased with the load management stuff, even going until he went to the Clippers. Man, why Kawhi ain't playing? Guess what? For every reason, it is what it is. But with Sheldon, he got a chance to rest his body. And this is the last laugh is his because it's paid off. And
no, he got one more. He got one more game now.
As I said before,
No, he got to win this one. He got to win
no. It doesn't.
Me.
Not winning this game does not dent Sheldon Henderson's legacy.
No, it
as
didn't.
A high school player, as a high school basketball player.
But
he's already
put
playing
a
with
stamp
house
on him. To me,
he can. Definitely. He goes into the Willie Warren phase. Remember Willie Warren?
But Coach, why get there and don't? I'm telling him, young man, if you listen, seize that opportunity. Don't just stop here because somebody's saying you all right. You ain't all right to me. Might be all right to Jimmy. I think after what I saw the other day, you can take that team and beat anybody you want to be, Sheldon. I hope somebody send that to you. Can take that team and beat anybody. You got complimentary people. And thanks for whoever told me about Egypt. Egypt was a hard plant. You didn't say it. The lady on the
what
feed.
You mean? Wait a minute.
The lady on the feed mentioned Egypt.
No, she didn't mention them to the question that you asked. You asked the question, Howard. She mentioned the starting five. She blanketed the starting five. She mentioned all
first
5
time,
players.
no, she put it up there first for you.
And you acknowledged yesterday.
I said I didn't even see Egypt name up there.
You didn't see his name, and so you asked the question. That was before you had asked me the question.
Yeah,
who would be defending Kingston Fleming? That was the question. So who's gonna guard Kingston? And I say, well, in all likelihood, Egypt. And then everybody went bumpers.
Well, everybody guarded him last night.
Well, no. Egypt was the primary defender on him. Egypt was the primary.
But back to me. I like on Egypt.
And they run a lot of, and you understand, Brenham runs a lot of sets where they force you, if you're in a man, they force you to make a business decision. Either you're going to switch or you're going to stay. They run a lot of that stuff. That's what gets them going.
It didn't work. They ran a lot of it. And hold up, whoever is the defensive guru, whoever put that defense in for Bel Air, I'm going to give whatever I give Sheldon, I'm going to give him. Because y'all had that damn team so confused. All that stuff Jimmy talking about, they ran a whole lot of nothing in the first half.
Just understand. I mean, I'm not going to. I've had time to soak it in, and everybody did that watched that game last night. As Bel Air beat San Antonio Brenham guys 65-57 in the state semifinals of the highest class bracket of the highest classification. San Antonio Brenham picked the wrong game to have the worst shooting half of their entire season. They went 4 for 30 in the first half. 4 for 30 in the first half. And a lot
Well,
of those
stop
shots,
shooting them long shots.
a lot of those shots, they were wide open. A lot of them, they were wide open. Not all, they were contested. A lot of shots, they were wide.
So you give
open.
them an excuse for missing, but you don't
No, ain't
give.
no excuse. Ain't no excuse. That's a statistic. I presented a stat. They were 4 for 30. An excuse would be an opinion to support fact. I didn't give one. I
Jimmy,
just
high school
presented
play.
a fact.
Jimmy, the best in the world. Listen to me. The best in the world is Stephen Curry, right? You know how many he shoot? What is percentage? It's around 40-some percent. These kids ain't expected to shoot but 30%, man, in a game. And y'all think these kids gonna come and shoot better than Stephen Curry? Y'all expect too much. Man, let them shoot themselves to death. And that's what they did. Guess what? They didn't get nothing going to the hole that much. They didn't get nothing going to the hole. And Jimmy, some of them shots were contested. Every shot wasn't wide open. I was watching the game. I mean, them dudes just.
No, I didn't say it was
Jimmy,
that.
there's no such thing as a bad game and a big game.
And that goes another one of my cliches that goes hand in hand right up under the there's a reason that upsets are called upsets. There's no such thing as a bad game in a big. Now, fortunately for it wasn't a total wet the bed for Brenham because you have to credit what Bel Air was doing to them. Bel Air was doing to them. Bel Air was suffocating them, except for the offensive glass. That's the only category that Brennan dominated Bel Air.
That's a good point.
Glass. But they gave it back. They gave it back on the other end because Bel Air out rebounded Brennan 47-26. They out rebounded them by a plus 21 in a high school game.
Man, you're right. They dumb. Stephen didn't have not one offensive rebound. He was 20 rebounds, all defensive.
All defensive. That's what Bel Air. So that means Bel Air limited Brennan to basically. Okay, understand. Brennan took 66 shots.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't get the end. I guess that what Paul said.
I just put it like this. Bel Air, put it like this. Bel Air, I flip it the other way to make the numbers sound more understandable.
Okay.
Bel Air had 47 rebounds. 47 rebounds, right? Brennan took 66 shots.
Mm-hmm.
That means you take 47 from 66, you got 19. 19, Brennan had 15 offensive rebounds. Take the 15 from the 19, and that's 4. That's a team rebound or something like that. Or they might have, you might have missed margin of error. So the point is, the vast majority of Brennan's field goals went when they missed, right? They took 66 shots. They made 18. What's 18 from 66 is what? It's 48. How many rebounds they had? That means, understand, I said again, make the math safe. They took 66 shots.
Mm-hmm.
You made 18 of them. So that means those are makes. Let's count the misses. So we subtract 18 from 66. That gives you 48. Bel Air had 47 rebounds.
So they rebounded every one of your best.
Exactly.
Jimmy.
That's something you got to look at. See, stats is wonderful when you understand the number.
Jimmy, I was telling people about basketball. I want them to watch basketball a little different. This is how the analytics people watch it. And I'm watching a little bit more like this. And what they say is field goal efficiency is the number one in basketball. Efficiency. How many shots you make per the ones you take. The second one is turnovers. Because if you're turning the ball over too much, you're giving the ball back to the other team, so they're having more possessions than you do. And then, Jimmy, the third one is rebound. Wait a minute. Well, no, rebounding is one, and rebounding is the third one. Getting those extra rebounds, like Brennan got them offensive rebounds, more offensive rebounds. And the fourth one is free throw proficiency. getting to the line, getting to the line. Those are the 4 metrics that determine to win a basketball game. But let me show you something. Jimmy, Ballard didn't shoot for 43 shots. And hit 50, 26 of them. So they were what? The number one graphic, the number one thing I just said, they were more efficient. Them dudes shot 66 shots in there, but 18 of them. Brenham. That's on Brenham. Jimmy, this the problem with Brenham. Yeah, no, I got the whole end at the end of the fourth period.
No, I'm just saying, just in the first half. In the first half, that's where the Bel Air was so far ahead in points if it was a boxing match that you can't. Brennan surged on in the later rounds, but they were so far behind on points they just couldn't. They ran out of rounds. Put it like that. Here's the halftime stats, and I got them right here somewhere.
Well, can I give him an end of game stat right here? Brennan was 5 for 34. They shot 34 threes and didn't make but 5. Ballard didn't shoot but 6 threes, Jimmy, and made 3 of them.
That was part of
Jimmy, and y'all talking about they missed shots. The game of basketball is about missed shots. If you make them, if Michael Jordan don't hit that shot on Craig Elo, he ain't no hero. If he don't hit that shot on push what's the boy Byron Russell off and hit the shot, Jimmy, you got to be shot makers, not shot takers. I don't feel sorry for nobody who shot the ball 66 times and don't hit but 18 of them and shot 34 threes and don't hit but 5. You should have stopped shooting them. How about that? Now
it is at halftime. As you mentioned about the 3-pointers, the 5 for 34 at the end of the game. At halftime, that's for Brennan. They were 1 for 16 3-points. 1 for 16. And of course, I mentioned earlier they were 4 for 30 overall.
I'm gonna say let's go to the hole. At halftime, man, let's get to the hole.
It got worse than that.
It got worse.
Even when the clock was stopped, they were 1 for 7 from the free throw line. That means Murphy's Law was in total existence for Brennan in that first half. Well, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And you think, and I look back at Bel Air in that first half in comparison. Remember, 4 for 30 for Brennan. Bel Air was 13 for 21. They shot 61% in the first half. 61%. You shooting over 60% in the half.
Jimmy. But Bel Air turned the ball over 31 times. I ain't never heard no shit like that in my life.
Yeah, but those turnovers was in the second. The bulk of those were in the second half.
But Jimmy, still 31. I'm still 31.
It was a tale of 2 halves.
Jimmy, don't you know a basketball game is 2 halves?
It's a tale of 2 halves.
But hold up. A basketball game is a whole game. It's not played in half. You don't play half and go home with a win. You don't play another half and go home. You got to play both of the half. That's why. That's why you play the game. Y'all be killing me, man. This happened in the first half. No. You got to be able to sustain. I keep telling y'all, in college basketball, I think in 4-minute intervals, Jimmy, the first 4 minutes, the second 4 minutes, the third 4 minutes, you got to think like that. You can't think halves because you got to play both of them. You got to think whole. And whole, Ballard turned that bitch over, turn it over 31 times, man. That can't happen. Because Duncanville, a bug gonna be dunking that thing on the other end if you turn that ball over on Duncanville. I'm just telling y'all, we can't turn the ball over, golly, 31 times. Oh my!
That's 31. That's at the end of the game. So you think about this. Those 31 turnovers was some was self-inflicted, but some also at one point in the fourth quarter, Bel Air had an 18-point lead going into the fourth quarter. They led by 18. The largest lead of the game was 20. That lead in the fourth quarter was shrunk from 18 down to what? 3, 4? 4, I think it was.
I
And
left by that time.
in the closing seconds. And understand something. I thought that now I saw Brennan play twice this year. And the first time I seen them play was against our Colony back on like November the 21st or the 22nd in the Pasadena tournament, the McDonald's Texas Invitational, which Brennan went on to beat Thurgood Marshall, Fort Bend Marshall in the championship game. Well, in that game I saw against our Colony, because Brennan, the Marshall game was the second time that I saw Brennan play, the championship game of that tournament. Well, here's what I noticed. I witnessed Brennan be down to our Colony. Yes, our Colony. With R.J. Green and B.J. Gill and those guys, they were down by 18 points, the exact amount that they were down to Bel Air against. They were down by 18 and came back and went up by 20 before winning by about 18.
Our Colony don't have a monster like Sheldon on their team.
No, I don't have a monster, but psychologically, it's almost like some teams, and you watch football games or in professional sports, and some teams that get behind, just say Kansas City Chiefs. We saw them get behind in certain games this season, and we like, oh man, we know if it's close, then we know what Pat Mahomes gonna do. So it's kind of like you've been there, psychology of we've been in this space before. Don't panic. Don't worry, I got you. And guess what? In this particular time, you ran up against a monster of a player that produced 26 points, 20 rebounds. That's Sheldon Hills. And people point out he had 13 turnovers. Guess what? Remember I said, if you win, that's saved by the ball. That's
so he had a triple-double. He had a triple-double.
That ain't the kind you want to brag about, but the W.
Jimmy, nobody brought this up. And I was talking about this on the way home last night. And thank you for Marcus for bringing it up. That illegal substitution, it did change the momentum of the game when they got, I saw it. I sit there and watched it. And I was saying, we got to get those things sold up now. Whoever the substitution guy on Bel Air team, man, you got to make sure that stuff done right. Because I know the head coach ain't doing it. So somebody is responsible for substitution. We got to watch that because that changed the momentum of that game. We were beating the brakes off. That was a good one. I like that. I like that, Marcus. You was paying attention to the game. I like that, baby.
And and to support that, I'm gonna add something to one reason why it negated the momentum, because I wrote in my notes. I remember because first of all, it was Bel Air's possession.
Yes, it was.
It was Bel Air's ball. So you gave them 2 ticks and the ball, and the possession went to Brennan. Brennan scored 3 points real quick before Bel Air even touched the ball, right? And then Brennan went on that massive run, and Bel Air looked at one point in time as though it was butter in a hot skillet. And it was like nobody wanted that ball and this was coming out of the second half. Bel Air ended up, was it the fourth quarter? That was halftime. That was fourth quarter. I think it was fourth quarter. Yeah, that was the fourth quarter when that massive run took place. And so but they prevailed. I'm profoundly proud of the fact that what it does now, it shifts the pendulum back to whereas people will say, now there's no excuse to avoid an HISD school. They have 3 schools for the first time in history. First time in history. HISD been around a long time. They've never had 3 basketball teams in the state championship games in the same season. I love history. I just love being a part of it. I just love to say I was there. Just like last night, we were, no matter what happens, we were a part of history.
And I almost did.
And remember another thing, how do we say that?
Thanks to Shaniqua that made me come. No,
and another thing about the last night's game, you asked me the question, how many people I think was going to be there.
Yeah.
And I said my over and under about
Oh,
4,000. You say, man, you think 4,000 gonna come in that gym? I
I,
say, yeah. You say, and you asked me why, and I gave my reasons why. I thought that they would track them. Well, that was about a little bit, look like a bit over 4,000, or
yeah, it
maybe
was
I
more
only
than
got
4,000. And Jimmy, they
like,
stopped. You know, I forgot to tell you. It was people, it was about, it might have been a 500 outside. They wouldn't let them in. They was calling me trying to get in. But I told them, TSU, they was mad at TSU. But I want to explain to everybody that was not TSU's fault. TSU didn't control UIL and HISD rented the building. They decided not. Jimmy, a lot of their personnel wasn't there because one of them was in a car. And you know, had to find. So a lot of stuff happened that they were short staffed. HISD, so they stopped letting people in. Jimmy, that thing could have been packed in that. If you saw the picture, I'm gonna send you the people that was outside. They was calling me. I said, man, I'm not finna go and open one of these doors around here like that. It's HISD game. I ain't got nothing to do with shit. Thank them for thinking enough for me to put me in the building. So it was not TSU building last night. I'm just letting y'all know. It was an
yes,
HISD and UIL takeover last night. Just to let everybody know. So if y'all got any complaints, call them. Now, what else you about to
yeah,
say,
yeah.
Jim?
That was all everything, even from the officers and everything. It was
Yeah,
even though TSU's people were on duty, they're on duty already,
yeah.
and just some of them you saw around was just shooting a double dipping or whatnot on there, watching a little basketball. But a great atmosphere.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
cool.
thumbs up for the gutsy, for the way of the I guess the coin that flipped in favor of Bel Air when they
Man,
decided to flip the coin.
yes.
That was, as I projected yesterday, that was college coaches, Division One
Oh,
coaches
yeah, they was in there.
in the building on the sideline.
They
You
was
had
in
Texas Southern was there as they should be. University of Houston had a couple of their coaches in the building. Sam Houston State, University
there.
of St. Thomas.
Uh,
Those were just four of the
yeah.
staff that I saw that I recall that came up to me
I saw
during
Lee College too. But
Lee College in there. Shout out to Lee College, man. Shout out to Lee College.
they
Lee
was
College
there.
was in the building. So that's 5
Uh,
colleges were represented.
mhm.
That is very rare. That's summer ball type stuff for a lot of these guys that
Mhm.
don't have it. You have to realize, and I'm going to go and focus in the next couple of days. I'm going to shift my focus not only on the spring icebreaker, but it'll be on a lot of the abundance of unsigned seniors that are on each one of these teams that are leading them in at least two categories that are still standing.
Mm.
That's not signed with Division One schools. Now I do know, and I can verify that there's a spiked level of interest, which I hardly ever speak on interest because I don't, but I know I know what I saw last night, and I know what my ears heard and my eyes witnessed that there is an added interest for LJ Andrews for Texas Southern University.
Jimmy, they offered him last night.
I lowballed it when I just said there's an added interest.
Yeah,
That's why I don't talk about interests, but
yeah,
I do know that.
yeah. They
So
offered him last night.
here's the deal. This is what I meant yesterday when I gave the statement and I explained and I broke it down. But not about this game, I broke it down in regards to Wheatley and in regards to Katie Jordan. And I said it yesterday on the show. What if? Just say, no, of course, Quentin Sanders didn't go score 36 points last night. He didn't go skill a triple. But what if he had done so? The opportunity was prime in there. That coach, you can't never say that coach ain't tried to do nothing.
Jimmy, I'm gonna help you out a little bit now. That helped, but I got a call when they played against Santos now. College coach, TSU staff was there.
Yeah.
And they called me and asked me about this. He said, man, this dude for Bel Air now. And I said, which one are you talking about? Because I know it said, I'm messing with him. And he said, man, this Andrews dude had I think he can play. I think he can play in the SWAC. I said, well, then, I mean, I don't know because I don't know LJ Andrews. I don't know what his situation is. I don't know this crew. I said, well, let's see what. And then guess what? He come to our campus and played his man. I didn't know he could shoot. Shh, LJ. I don't know. Let me tell you something, LJ. There's some changes coming to the SWAC next year. The SWAC gonna be able to help you out. The SWAC, Jimmy, the SWAC gonna have money to give you too. So don't, yeah. The SWAC gonna have, I'm just telling you, I don't know how much, but man, you need to seriously thinking about, because when Johnny Jones, you made a couple of plays, Johnny Jones looked straight over there at me like, I said, okay. Now you keep.
I want to add something. I want to add to the list, and I'm thank y'all for. I'm going to start writing these down.
Don't write that.
Somebody just gave us that Paris Junior College was in the building last night, and Byron Smith from Prairie View.
Yeah, I saw Byron Smith. I saw him.
I didn't see him. So I need to write them down on my notes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down so that way I can let it be known. That's a lot of Division I college, a lot of colleges, period, in one building for a high school game. Understand something? At a neutral site. What do we have? We had U of H,
I saw another
TSU,
coach.
Sam Houston State, UST, Lee, Paris, and PV. How about that? Yeah, I got everybody. I think I got everybody. So thanks for that. That's understand. These guys were playing. They were auditioning. Anytime you play in front of a college coach, that's like going on American Idol and you singing your favorite church song.
But Jimmy, some of these guys been seen in the summer, but this time the guys see you up close and personal. You the only game in the gym. He ain't got to go to 12 courts. You the only game in the gym. And me, I kind of knew that they were interested in him. And when I heard about the offer last night, I said, "Shit, it wasn't no surprising to me." And but it's man, I'm just proud, man. I'm a HBC coach. And another thing, Jimmy, why I had to be at the game. Somebody called me and said, Robert, you got two of the top ranked players in the country playing at an HBCU. You got to be there. And I thought about it, 'cause I just wanted to chill, Jim. You got to understand, Jim. I just got off the road. We just came back from Jackson, Mississippi. I didn't even realize it, man. And I was wondering, I said, man, I just want to chill and I can watch it. And I didn't want to miss Memphis game because it was at 6. And when that happened, and I'm so glad I came. I got a chance to see Coach Deion Williams, my son's former high school coach. I had seen him a long, long time. Man, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And then Shanika was talking all that stuff, so I just had to come. I had to come to make sure I show up. She's talking all that stuff.
Yeah, and I want to add something. I think somebody earlier in the show mentioned a comment about Brennan and them being. I think somebody, I don't know the statement. Somebody mentioned earlier, said something like overrated or something. No, man. Brennan was a good team. They just got kicked. Everybody. I think Mike Tyson said it first. Somebody say everybody are good fighters. They get busted. They get busted in the lip or something like that, right?
Until they get hit in the mouth.
And that's what happened. They got hit in the mouth, guys. They got hit in the mouth. See, it was nothing that they could do in practice to prepare them psychologically and physically for Sheldon Henderson attacking the rim for 8 straight points of Bel Air's first 10. He scored 8 of them out the gate, and all from the left side of the rim. He's all of them from the left side of the basket. Mm-hmm. And they was like, because in the scout, you thinking like, well, hell, we're gonna get him, make him push him out on the right, do whatever you gotta do, whatever. But this dude came, and when Sheldon got into a rhythm, he did what I've seen him do the last couple of times I've watched Bel Air play. Sheldon Henderson is playing with a cheat code against high school players. He's playing with a cheat code. There's nobody on Duncanville's roster that has the mass to one-on-one stop Sheldon Henderson from getting to the goal? Nobody. And Sheldon now, a year ago, certain moves to the basket, his body wasn't, he didn't have as much control where he can maneuver around that charge attempt and make you have to lean
Oh,
and
that
turn
was
it into the
cool. I
block.
like that.
He's moving now more fluidly. Think about that. And that's a problem. So that means,
Oh,
guess what?
Jimmy, somebody named Isaiah Ward, he didn't play for the
Isaiah
other
Ward
team?
didn't play. No,
Okay.
he didn't play.
He was
But Isaiah,
6'6", though, Jim.
hold on. When was the last time Isaiah Ward played? Don't y'all do that to me. Don't do that.
Well, you know Tim Littlefield, he from up there. He finished said it would have been different.
When the last time Isaiah Ward played?
I don't know. I ain't never heard of Isaiah Ward. But when somebody put it on the screen, hold up, y'all. This just ain't me talking. That man said if Brennan pressed Ballard earlier, they would have been in a better place. Ballard would have been used to the press by hold up, Jimmy. Ballard would have been used to the press by the end of the game and wore their ass out. That dude, come on, man. Come on, man. The only reason the press worked because they didn't press them in the beginning. If you press somebody early in the game, people gonna figure that out, man. Glover too good a coach. They were gonna stop. They were gonna tell number 14, quit beating out the damn ball and pass it and cut. Quit beating the hell out the ball. And Sheldon, I don't know, man, Sheldon must have turned that ball. I didn't realize Sheldon must have been the one turning the damn ball over there in the press. He had 13 of them. Hey, y'all, man, let me tell you something, man. They lost. Y'all can go, Jimmy, you know how the people say they playing after whiz. You know how when people get through getting beat at the big whiz table, then you go talk about how many books you should have gotten up. Y'all playing after whiz right now. Y'all playing after. Yeah, dude, if my auntie had a scrotum, she'll be my uncle. I keep telling y'all, I don't know why y'all keep talking about, well, if they had to hit some of them threes, yes. If this dude had to hit some, that's in every game.
Well, and I want to add an understanding. Isaiah Ward is definitely a big piece to them, but I forgot to mention something. When in that game that Brennan was down 18, I guess I understand. Well, I'll put it like this. In the game of the championship of the McDonald's Texas Invitational, so either you're gonna take it like this, either you about to shit on Thurgood on Fort Bend Marshall, who's playing for a state championship in 5A, or you're gonna give credit to Bel Air. Here's the deal. Isaiah Ward didn't play against Thurgood Marshall in that championship of the Texas Invitational, did he? Did he?
But Jimmy, they didn't want to. That don't fit the narrative.
I'm just saying. Any of y'all, I wait and I got. Listen, I'm gonna give you some other T-shirt material. I got nothing to do and all day to do it. In regards to that answer that question, did Isaiah Ward play in the championship? Remember after that game is when Kevin Sampson went viral on the video praising Kevin Sargent from Thurgood Marshall. He was saying
Marshall beat Brennan?
No. Brennan beat Marshall without Isaiah Ward.
But ain't nobody saying nothing about that.
Ain't nobody saying nothing about that.
But Tim,
so that means
Jimmy, it didn't fit the narrative. Jimmy, come on, come on. Tim got to take up for his hometown team.
They were stunned.
Leave Tim alone. Tim don't come on the show no more. I want him to come back on the show.
No, Tim, my guy, man. We go a long way back, and he knows it's not. It's just understand. And Tim, San Antonio has just recently got into. It's like playing double dutch, jumping rope. They just begun the double dutch with Greater Houston and DFW. So now the double get on up in the rope, and you get tangled the first couple of times. Because I understand people. This was a game that not many people saw coming. I think in DFW, they could have saw Duncanville beating Allen before you saw Bel Air beating Brennan. You saw Westbrook beating Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial, who was only undefeated team in the state, before you saw Bel Air beating Brennan. People came to just to see, in most part, let me come and see how this Sheldon them, what he gonna do. If he gonna do
Jimmy,
this right here, let me go see what that Duke boy gonna do.
Jimmy, guess what? I guess I'm in the minority then. Cause I said on this show that I think Bell, I'm going with Sheldon. I never thought Brennan was gonna win. I just didn't. Maybe I just don't have enough information. I hadn't seen him enough, or whatever. I didn't have enough information like y'all. But I'm thinking Sheldon Henderson is gonna punish these guys, and so I I feel good. I guess I feel good to think. I mean, because maybe y'all got more information. Because y'all saying, well, they did this, Brennan did this, Brennan did this. But Brennan ain't got nobody on their team that's like Sheldon Henderson. And he's more different than any other players. Jim, I'm telling you, I haven't seen nothing like that size and move like that. Now he got to be able to hit a shot every now and then, but he didn't have to. But that step back, it was kind of nice. But he didn't have to on these guys because he just punished them little old dudes at the rim. So he's an opposing figure. He was like LeBron out there, not high flying, but just punishing them little guys at the rim. And so I just always thought they was gonna win. And shout out to the San Antonio fans who was sitting behind me. Oh my God. Man, one of them was so wild and one of them was so loud. His wife had to tell him, hey, player, you gonna break this seat in front. Because he hit, hey man, them Texas Southern seats, man. And I want you, whoever that guy is, I hope you listening to, send some money, a thing back to the HBCU out college fund, because you was hitting on the back of them seats so hard. Your wife had to tell you, man, don't hit that damn seat like that no more. I turned around. He was a little, but he wanted to win. He just said, he said, Zero, whoever Zero is, let me look at his name. Zero, we need something out of you. Zero, it was Zero. What my man? Donovan Chris. He said, Zero, you got to get in the game. Zero. Whoever that dude was behind me, man, I wish I had went up to me. He was just so, Jimmy, he was so distraught. I didn't want to say nothing to him. But I just, shout out to you, man. But your wife wasn't playing. She was serious, Jim. She had that Clint Eastwood look on her. She was like, hey, don't
Man,
be
they
out here
weren't happy,
embarrassing.
man.
Huh?
They were not happy about that. I mean, it's not, and understand something. It was just joyful, guys, because if you were at the game, you would see in the closing seconds, as the clock went down to 0, Bruce Glover pointed directly over towards my direction and was talking to me from his sideline across the court in joy. And you have to realize, I guess, some people use a lot of things for motivation. And yesterday I mentioned the fact on yesterday's show that Coach Glover his candle has been relit. You can see a different type of joy that is coming back into his spirit when he's approaching these basketball games. It wasn't after Toby Uyediji died in 2010.
Yeah.
That it was a different Coach Glover. I mean, it was like his heart had turned into stone. He tried his best to fall in love with this stuff again. And this stuff, basketball, I tell people all the time, it would make you at some point, as further you dive yourself, and for some coaches, the further you dive yourself or submerge yourself into basketball, your work, then you compromise or sacrifice losing your family. That happens to a lot of coaches. And then what happens when you sacrifice by submerging and you do lose your family, and you don't win, then that's a double loss. That could put any coach, I can only imagine, in such a space that is hard to return from. And right now, this guy not only went to the state tournament, he's in the state championship. And I'm going to tell you, I know Paul Miranda, you got and everybody in DFW. This game is really a pick 'em, Duncanville and Bel Air, as it stands, because of the fact that Bel Air knows how to defend. Mind you, they had a couple of players in foul trouble, which hurt the dynamic of what they could do offensively. One of the main arteries was clipped, and that's Coleman Dutton. We talked about him yesterday. He chased foul trouble from the second quarter on. And he only played, hell, he might only played a minute of the fourth quarter or so. It just so that without Coleman Dutton, he's the coach on the floor. He's that version of let me tell you something. Had Wimby not been put on the shelf for the season for the Spurs, for the San Antonio Spurs, young people would have saw a different variation of Chris Paul, because his job would have been so easy with De'Aaron Fox right there and Wimby right there, and Chris Paul would have been grooving again. This is what Coleman Dutton is, that type of artery to Bel Air. Did not have a good game last night for the whole duration because they needed him on the floor. Remember, I need him to not get in foul trouble yesterday. And lo and behold, he got in foul trouble. But once again, the man of the hour at Egypt is ain't no stats going to show you on that sheet how important this young man was to the Bel Air Cardinals and to their victory. His last name is Gibbs. Egypt Gibbs. He's an unsigned senior as well with a college-ready frame for some small school out there. He's athletic. He's already see his film from this game alone can go and probably have legs on it to some small school. Because first of all, a lot of college coaches like winners. And winners, that means it's easy to get them to understand what you're trying to do. Winners understand how to win. He understood how to defend, and he understands his role. When he gets subbed out of the game, ain't no moping, ain't no pouting. When he's on the bench. I'm watching him last night. He's rooting for his teammates.
Seemed like a nice young man.
Man, those are elements that most people ain't even paying attention to. Another kid dropped something on the floor. He picked it up. Hey, man, and this is the camaraderie of a role guy that you can get into. Now, let's Adam. Let's. And also I have the totals from the attendance last night. Let's say the official count from HISD from last night's attendance at the game was between 4 to 4,500. And that's, I don't, we got to realize that that's a good crowd for one high school game in the postseason when other games are going on at the same night. You talked about Beaumont Westbrook out earlier.
Yeah. Yes.
Shout out to him, man. Elijah Garrett. He's probably, man, he's the only underclassman that is leading his team that's in the state tournament from all of the teams from Region 3 that are there. He's the only underclassman. He's 11th grader, and he's simply gotten better every step of the way. It wasn't much sexy about him, but once you win and when you get to state or you make it to the state championship, that's a different type of bar on your military sleeve. You can't never take that away. Now he's there. All he has to do is perform. All he has to do is get it on down and win. We mentioned the young fella, Satcher. Satcher has a few non-Division I offers on the table. He's right there supporting, providing all the reinforcement that's needed for Elijah Garrett and Beaumont Westbrook. Here's the thing that many of you guys may not understand. This is Beaumont Westbrook's first time, just like Bel Air, first time ever playing this late in the season in the history of the school. This is a first year head coach at Westbrook.
Oh, that's right. The other guy retired. Okay, right.
Michael Thomas is the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And it was by popular demand. So that means whomever, remember, it was a big rift because they were leaning toward going in a different direction. I think it might have, I think it might have been Coach Coleman, who's at Nimitz High School right now. I think he was one of the finalists, and Coach Coleman is, and they was like, man, and it was the city, the alumni was kind of split. Some people wanted Omar Sneed, to come out from the girls' side, try to lure him in to take over, and it was split. So the pizza was cut in several slices, and they made the decision: we're going to go from within and reward this young man. He was a disciple, a basketball disciple of Andre Boutte. He played for Beaumont Ozan back in the days when they went to state. And now, so that means there's not much different you have to do. And he was a favorite of the kids. From what I got, Beaumont ISD, some of the administrative board members, they reached out and talked to some of the kids or the families, which is rare. Some people don't give a damn about what the parents or the kids think. Y'all don't run this, don't run nothing. Just pay your taxes and keep going. Well, in this case, Beaumont, which only has two public high schools in the school district because of consolidations, they asked the parents, they asked the kids. Michael Thomas was a risk that has paid off wholeheartedly for Beaumont ISD. And so shout out to that young man. And I look at it, how Beaumont Westbrook made it to the championship of the Super 16. We're not surprised they're in the state tournament or the state finals. I'm not surprised at all. They waited to they made it to the Final Four a year or two seasons ago at the Super 16. Remember, probably would have made it further, but the young fella from Beaumont Westbrook, it was his birthday weekend. He stayed home at a party, didn't even play with the team. The young man that's at TCU right now. They probably would have made it to the finals again had he played. So now Beaumont, the torch and the candle is still lit. Beaumont United won in 2022. They went in 2021. They went in 2000. Remember, that was the Wesley Yates, Terrence Arsenault era. And now you have Beaumont Westbrook. Now you have Beaumont Westbrook. And there's a good possibility that when they do the realignment, Beaumont Westbrook and or United, at least one of them could go back down to 5A. Well, I would love to see them split, not to cancel each other out in the postseason, but we'll see how that goes. But I want to shout out to Beaumont Westbrook, Thurgood Marshall, Kevin Sargent, and Ian Lowe, and all those guys. And hey, man, they got it done again. They absolutely, talking about a defense performance, they only allowed 29 points in the state semifinal game. Thurgood Marshall did. They only allowed 29 points. That's some defense. And Ronnie Courtney is back at the state championships or state tournament for the 5th time in his career, for the 5th time. And he's probably the most tenured, well, he definitely has the most wins of any coach at the state tournament this year. As Ronnie Courtney is closing into, I think he's at about 900 wins. Somehow I get the exact number from him soon. But
you said something a minute ago. Just made me think. You was talking about Glover. Then we talked about the long tenure of Coach Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk to my young guys out there because you mentioned the new coach just took over at Beaumont Westbrook. Before becoming a coach, to you young coaches out there, it's lonely. Not all your players gonna like you. Not all your parents gonna like you. You will unknowingly neglect your family. You would be blamed for most losses. You would do a whole lot of work for a little bit of pay. Most would only measure you by your games won. Your mind never rests. I listened to some coaches talking the other day. So you don't sleep well, coach said. You have no off season. You will only be able to trust a few people. So if coaching, my young up and coming coach, is not your passion, you will not last. This coach said he hasn't slept well in months. One coach from Dallas, Oak Cliff football program, he said he even had to be character witnesses at trials for murder and robbery for some of his kids. In the midst of engineering state championship runs. So coaching, man, you know, I was thinking about those guys, man. All you guys out there coaching, man. Man, I support you. I understand what you're doing. Jimmy just said some of these people lose their families. But you out here helping even all the kids. You know, that's why I was so happy. And Jimmy, I brought it up earlier that I got a chance to see my son's high school coach. Just to see him again. You know, I don't keep up with him that much. Now the college coaches, I don't know, just don't know why. We just got this. They always call me. The college coaches he had, but me and a high school coach, that's the first time we talked in a long, long time. We just sit there and hugged each other for a little bit, and I just kept thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. He said, "What I do?" I said, "Man, you know, you coach my son. I appreciate people who put up with my kid. I appreciate him. You didn't have to do it. And sometimes it's a thankless job out here, parents. You know, we get up and he can't coach. He can't this. He can't coach, Jimmy. He don't know how. You know, some of the parents, some of your players ain't gonna like you, but man, it's a thankless job. But but you got to have passion for it. And you know, I'm thinking about Damon Stoudemire, his team struggling one other night. Thinking about Penny last year, 15-1, and then the players start arguing with each other. Quinley and David Jones and all of them, they go going at each other. Then people wondering why they lose. They blame the coach. And you got to manage that stuff, man. And but I didn't want to go another moment without all the coaches out here. Summer coaches, all you guys who spend your time, man, we thank you. And I thank you personally myself. Now I'm gonna be hard on you now if you ain't doing right in this basketball community. But I thank you for what you do.
Yeah, and so that's definitely it's not easy, and
No,
you
sir.
know, also want to give a shout out to Coach Trey Austin. He's the assistant coach
Where?
over at Travis High School,
Okay. He was at the game.
and he was definitely at the game last night because a lot of these 12th graders were 8th graders that he was seasoning into the program as he left Bel Air
Oh, Belair.
and went over to
Right, he used to
and went over to
coach there.
Travis
Okay. Okay.
went over to Travis High School.
Yeah, I got you.
You know,
Okay. I got you.
that's big because he was emotional because you get to see that. That means your fingerprints
Yeah,
are on
of
some of
course.
those kids,
Of course.
those 12th graders. That is, and shout out to Trey as he primes himself. Remember he came to Bel Air after taking Westbury Christian and winning a couple of state championships with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And then went over to Bel Air, tried to get certified, couldn't get certified. Hell, I guess somebody could have made a call and got him certified if he need to get but but we but why you laughing, man? You ain't supposed to laugh at that. That's a joke.
Man, why you bring that up, man?
I just said I could have made a call, could have got him. He needed it that bad,
No,
but
man. No.
he got it out the mud though,
Yeah.
and he's certified now, and he's ripe for a head job soon because Traden served his dude, and his resume
Good coach.
definitely is one of the coaches out there. And there's about an estimated 10 high school jobs in the greater Houston that could that are open / could come open this spring.
Why? Just
Different
coaches want
reasons.
to move?
Well, you've already had 2 that are open right now.
What 2 open now?
Remember, Maid Creek coach resigned.
Okay.
Right? That's Maid Creek.
Okay.
And Martin Ranch coach is gone.
Oh, he is? I didn't know
And
that.
then you have a brand new school opening in KDISD. So those are 3 jobs, three to fill in KDISD.
When did the Martin Ranch? I like it. When did he? When? Okay, don't worry about it. I don't like the way you're looking. I just don't like the way you're looking, man.
I think they came in last.
Coach LJ Krause don't just walk through the door every day.
And he ain't him or Big Eddie ain't walking that door no time soon in Martin Ranch.
That's a good point.
Understand?
But Jimmy, I didn't know they fire high school coaches for not winning.
No, they just tell they go in a different direction. They stipend. They can't fire you as a teacher because you're a member of the TEA, but they can take your stipend and just say, man, we're going to go in a different direction. It happens a lot of places, Okay. Or you might want to go yourself in a different direction.
Okay.
A lot of these mammies and pappas, they give coaches the blues by thinking.
You hear about what Kevin Boyle did?
No.
You know Kevin Boyle is, right?
Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he used to be the coach at St. Patrick's. Kyrie Irving head coach in high school.
Jimmy.
I know him. We go all the way back under the Nike umbrella.
Jimmy, the legendary high school coach Kevin Boyle, the winner of 8 of the past 12 national championships, told ESPN he would depart Florida's Mount Verde Academy, to go to Spire Academy in Ohio at the season's end. Watch this. The former Hall of Famer as a coach, had coached 3 first-round number 1 picks in the draft. And then Cooper Flagg is coming up. He projected as a number 1 pick. But he just said the move is necessary in light of the seismic changes underway in high school and college basketball worlds over the past few years. Since 2021, players across the sport have been permitted to receive financial compensation by profiting from their name, image, and likeness, right? Transforming a player's decision-making process and planning their pathways to colleges where more significant earnings can await. He said the entire landscape has changed and high school basketball has changed. In other words, I got to jump on Spires because Spires going to give me some money to go get these dudes. And Montverde didn't have the money. That's what he said.
When you got to talk, I was about to say, I can give y'all, that's code for they got a bigger bag.
Spires got the bigger bag. Yeah.
And if coaches can go for the bigger bag, then why the hell can't the players? It'd be so funny that everybody would slide it. Why does player run? Why does coaches running like that? And everybody now understands that if you have an opportunity to create to create a significantly to move the needle for you and or your family, then you consider it. That don't mean you take it. All money ain't good money. It's like, but you take it. And at his point, Ball playing with house money right now. He's going in the Hall of Fame. No matter if he stopped coaching.
Hall of Fame, Jimmy.
I'm talking about Springfield.
No, you're right. A future. They said a future Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He's in the Hall of Fame. Whatever he does, he don't even have to coach another moment. Now,
wow.
I want to.
That's all right. That's cool.
We want to mention, of course. Yeah, we're going around the horn. Wheatley, we tapped on that.
Okay.
Or didn't tap. Wheatley beat Lamarck last night. Wheatley Wildcats prevailed over Lamarck.
What's their star player's name? I want to call his name a little bit more.
Quentin Sanders.
Quentin Sanders. Okay. Okay.
And Quentin Sanders, he's committed to, what school is that? Up in Montana. It's a junior college. Let me look at I want to say Dawson. That's it. Dawson Junior College
Okay.
in Montana. And so people, it's I understand it's chilly up there, but this young fella,
Shit.
understand, Booker T. Washington won big last night. They are in the state championship. Earlier in the year, I said, a lot of things I declare, and I say that district is the toughest 4A district in the state this year. And I saw it. And sure enough, remember, I had all three teams had a playing back to back to back at the Hoops Giving Classic. I had Booker T. Washington playing, then I had Yates playing, and then Wheatley playing, all in a row. And Sterling, I think, played behind them, if I'm not mistaken. Look out for Andre Young, former TSU basketball star. And Michelle said, Michelle, you about to step on some stuff now. And so, but this young man at Wheatley, he had an opportunity to coach. And I went through it yesterday, how they ended up playing in Beaumont.
Yeah.
Their attendance was approximately 3,000 people in Lamar University. So let that soak in. Bel Air had approximately, they say between 4,000 and 5,000 coming. The numbers are coming from that came according to the HISD administration. So let's just roughly go right in the middle and say 4250. Right?
And could have
So
had. They shut the gate. They shut the doors. But keep going.
Yeah, we got to find out the why on that. I got to find out what's the why.
why. Please tell me why.
Or was it a temporary shut? And
No, Jimmy, they couldn't get in. It was out there, couldn't get in.
Yeah, because that didn't make sense because the seats were definitely available, even though they didn't pull out those seats on the floor.
Yeah,
that's
they
about
did that intentionally.
That's about another 1,000 seats on the floor that they pull those out at
But
TSU.
they didn't want that. HISD.
You got to pay a little extra for that. That's extra cleanup.
No. They told them they didn't want them, push them back in. They were already
out.
out.
They don't want nobody on the floor. Yeah,
they didn't want nobody on the floor.
Yeah, it's like Delmore. They don't want nobody on the floor.
Yeah.
They didn't want people that close
to the place.
Easy to contain.
They didn't want the cheerleaders that close. They didn't want the cheerleaders. Jimmy, there's a lot of stuff be going on. I just have to.
I told you that. They go through a lot of checklists.
A lot of stuff goes on when they go rent your building. Yeah.
What kind of basketball you want to play with?
Yeah.
If you want Spalding, I want Nike Elite. We got to flip for it. All types of stuff.
You should have said that. I'm going to go all the way to college basketball. We went to Adidas school. We played Alcorn Adidas school the other day, right? We thought we was going to play with the Adidas ball. Alcorn brought out a Nike ball. Next year, they must going to be Nike.
Pay attention. We'll see.
Yeah. Then we
what happened to the midget? The midget ain't play?
I'm not talking to you, man. I'm not talking to you.
I'm not going to bring it up right now. And it wouldn't be fair. You remind me, and I'll read it off to y'all.
No, I don't want to hear it.
No, you got this. Oh, he sent it to you?
No, you told me about it. You told me about something.
How long ago?
It was a while back.
No, it's a new one. It's a new one. Okay. No, I'm telling you, it's a new one. That's what I'm saying.
Jimmy, we can't. Jimmy, let's talk back to the people out here. Cause we can't tell them all that. Now what else? What we got next?
Now we got next. Of course, we had 3,000 people. That's only 1,000 or so less than what Bel Air had. Those people drove down there, and they produced 3,000 fans driving an hour and a half. So now here's my point. I understand something, and I got a little more intel. That was one of the reasons that Lamarck declined to play at TSU was, and it was a thing, and which I didn't really believe because that game would have been probably the first game, but they were concerned that it was going to be too crowded, and they didn't want to get advantage to their people not getting in. But understand my point. Just say that could just be rumor. Could be rumor. But if that Wheatley Lamarck game had been at TSU last night, Their 3,000 versus the 4,200, and you mentioned about at least 500 people was estimated outside, couldn't get in already. They would have been in trouble. They would have packed that thing out. You guys don't understand. What it shows now is what you probably guys are not paying attention to. And that the candle of basketball interest has been relit in Greater Houston, especially with our urban teams when they win. It goes to show those are historic teams. Understand something. These people, Yates and Wheatley played last week, a week ago Thursday. And even going into that game, you posed the question, man, why would people go to that game? I don't understand why that game. I say, man, that thing gonna rock. It's gonna sell out, Heller.
No, I
And it
want
was
to
like
ask, what's the lure? I mean, but the
it
history of the
goes
game. I did because
it,
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
but it goes deeper than basketball. It
Okay,
ain't it
there's
goes
neighborhoods.
before.
Somebody says neighborhoods and
It's,
everything.
it was neighborhoods and the communities. It sounded a little better. Those communities.
Okay.
They used to, a lot of those people used to walk from one school, to the other when they got ready to play. That was a long walk going down Lockwood though. Lockwood turns into I think what Cullen?
I
Cullen?
don't
Yeah,
know.
I think Lockwood turns into Cullen. That's right. That's the street that runs right in the middle
People
of
ain't walk
University.
way over there.
That wasn't far when you had to walk. How that ain't that people walk downtown from Fifth Ward. That wasn't nothing to walk to Third Ward around the side of Fifth Ward. People did walk. Everybody didn't. So I ain't saying that everybody walked in a Selma, Alabama march there, but there were people that walked. You know what I'm saying, to those places. Now, mind you, for safety reasons, because at a certain time when during this, certain places you just couldn't be on. You didn't want to get caught by yourself in certain neighborhoods, but
Oh.
these historically, these two schools were the measuring sticks off of each other. Wheatley, Yates, Phyllis Wheatley. They're named after prominent Black history fixtures.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Yates.
Mm-hmm.
We know about Phyllis Wheatley. I know you guys, they'll teach you her in some of the history books, but they didn't teach you Jack Yates in your history books. Jack Yates was kind of a variation of our guy in New York City back when MLK was running, and what's his name, the congressman, the senator, what's his name,
Talking about my guy,
in New York,
Adam Clayton Powell.
Adam. That's what Jack Yates was. He was a reverend, and he bought the land. So Jack Yates was prominent. That Emancipation Park and all that. That's Jack Yates. They got scriptures and inscribings on the things about Jack Yates. So that's history that we shouldn't skip over. So when those two schools played, you're magnifying the names by giving marketing and advertising to the legacies of those two people. Think about it.
It's a
When you
100-year
got
legacy.
schools like that,
It's a 100-year legacy. Yeah.
Adam, when they used to play, they and see when they're both good, get it. That's the key to it. It's kind of like Prairie View and TSU. When they're both good,
Oh
they're
my
gonna
goodness.
pull, they're gonna draw.
Oh
You
my
know
goodness.
it's a packed house.
Yeah.
When they're both good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the ingredient. People are like, well, man, why I ain't never heard about why they it's only when they're
Both good.
or they're both deemed to be credible, deemed to be good enough to beat the other one, is when the alumni is gonna come out. They don't want to come out and root in wholeheartedly, knowing I'm gonna get my head beat in. They'll wait till they got a foul. It's a foul fight. You got a pipe, you got a bat. You ain't even get you hit me upside the head with that bat. So that's kind of like what I look at it. This thing, that place. Now, however, I didn't know from being down there at the game. I didn't know. I thought it was a peaceful. I didn't realize they had a couple of squabbles at that Yates Wheatley game. Grown folk, I'm talking about. Heard outside, heard in the restroom. Unfortunate, man. And I didn't even ask more than, to even bother getting intel on those. It's saddening. But those kids left it on the floor. And that was a good thing in regarding to them. Lastly, Katie Jordan played at Texas State University, and they pulled out the hammer on San Antonio Harlan. Those two teams that played each other and beat each other one time this season.
Oh, they have?
But both time they had already played each other twice. But both time they played, Heather, one of the teams that lost was missing at least one key starter each time they played. So they had a reason like this the first time they played with a full deck of cards. We played with 8, 9, 10s in the deck. Charlie Jones, Katie Jordan, obviously their first time here at the state championships or the state tournament. First time playing this late in the season. Charlie Jones, man, you can imagine how it's been a hard ride because you have to balance as being in the public school ranks. You have to balance all those parents. And when you have a team, just like a just like a Wheatley and a Booker T. Washington, where there's no player with a legitimate committable Division I offer on your roster. Those parents of the 12th graders, they get to wondering why. Because like we're winning.
I heard a couple of them off the chain over there too. Somebody called and told me because I ain't never really seen them play, but till they played Shadow Creek, and they said they off the chain now, off the chain. But keep going.
They wonder why, and they wonder because like we
Why?
trust. Because like
How the hell
me,
you gonna wait? Whoa! They blaming the high school coach?
No, but at the certain no, not right now. What happens is,
So what they won? Tell me what
ago,
they won.
I remember last season that I went to a Katie Jordan game, and because they were jockeying, because the coach, it was almost like you got different teams. You're not the first, not the last. Have different circles. You can call them cliques. You can call them sides, and people jousting for electoral votes within the government of the team or the program. Well, and Charlie, I remember talking with him, and he would call me and ask me for advice. I gave him advice on it, how I felt that he could apply a solution to it. And it's like cooking spaghetti. Put it in the sifter, whatever strains, you pour the rest of it off into the pan. So that's how it is. It didn't take everything I said, but I gave him some skull therapy on that. And which he thanked me for, because obviously those kids eventually they bought in. And it's probably a blessing in disguise that none of them have the Division I offer right now, because that way now they all can just keep fighting and clawing away. It's going to be great for those guys, especially their big three: Big Jude, Jaden Holt, who's playing fantastic right now, and of course Elijah Black, who's like the glue guy, the Mr. Everything on that particular team. You got one more game to win, Katie Jordan. One more game to win. And trust me, there are people that are not going to turn on. I'm saying Elijah Black just got the message. He has an offer on the table from University of St. Thomas, who's besides University of Houston has probably won more games than any other team in the state of Texas for his colleges over the past 5 years. Put the records on the table. They probably won more games besides University of Houston than any other college in the state. And so they're Division III. That means you different type of funding. You got to get them. You can qualify for different stuff, and they have scholarships for everything everywhere. But that may not be a bad place for Elijah Black. Coach Medina, how much longer is he going to be there? Because somebody is going to smell what he's cooking over there, and they're going to want that on their kitchen table soon. This dude been winning. This dude got a magic wand over there, Hatter. He's taking guys from H-Town primarily, and they kicking butt. Remember my dude Angel Johnson? We talked about him 4 years ago. He was senior now, I think, or June, or 3-4 years. He might have sit out 1 year, I think. Angel was at Atascocita. And you guys come out of high school, Think you gonna beat Angel out for a spot? You had one little kid on that team that played. He played professional ball with the LeVar Ball's big baller brand. Remember? Then the NCAA gave him a reprieve and permission to go back into college because of that league. They deemed it whatever they deemed it. But and that's one the young man from out of Klein Forest. I think last name Williams. You got talent over there. And he found a way to go and add. Remember, he had one assistant coach that had to branch out, and you got assistant coaches that branch out and get head jobs. That's another attractive tool. Is your tree sprouting good branches. And so now you bring in Coach King, who had his hooks and his antennas all the way through the grassroots scene. He comes in there and gives you a different and adds and reinforces the staff and the intel with intel. That's culture. That's winning ways. And that's what Medina's doing over there. And guess what? I applaud University of St. Thomas for what they're doing, man. Now, also, I applaud Charlie Jones wholeheartedly for giving his kids the opportunity to have an audition on a college campus. It's priceless. They went and played at Texas State University, and if somebody fared well, then Coach T.J. Johnson might be up in there. Hey man, I might offer you something, or I might be looking at you in the next couple of years. I mean, or following you after 1 year, showing proof, and you bring in.
What if he look at somebody on the other team and like the other guy on the other team?
But that works twofold. Okay. Absolutely, it works like it all the time. There's many coaches that came to see John Doe and left liking Big Pookie or Little Pookie. That's Big Pookie, little brother. So that's the thing in regard to that. I'm looking at some of these comments. That is Moody, yeah, Simeon.
What happened? Who won the game? He said they played.
Simeon lost Kenwood. No, Kenwood, the young fella, the 10th grader, man, put on the show. He's up there showing off up there in Chicago in the state. They're in the state playoffs right now. That's remarkable, man. Remarkable. And
I guess his name Devin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking at I mentioned earlier about the win total as the most wins from the most wins in the state tournament. So Coach Courtney, approximately he's sitting on 700. I said 800 to 900 wins, 783 wins. That's a lot of wins. 783. And so next year he would get him into that threshold of 800 easily next season. So that's wait a minute. We got an update. We got an update on that. Remember that squabble that took place right before the playoffs in those two little country schools down in Southeast Texas? We talked about briefly, scammed on it. Burkeville versus Hull Dicetta. It was a brawl hatter, and both teams got suspended from the playoffs. But one team wasn't even going to make the playoffs anyway, from what I understand, and the other one was prevented from going. They say all players who threw punches will be suspended the remainder of the school year from all sports. So that means a lot of basketball kids in those small towns also run track. They also play baseball or such. They can't do that in any extracurricular sports, they said. The coaches have been placed on probation for 2 years, and both schools' athletic departments have been placed on probation for 2 years. So that's the news in regards to that. Want to get that out there, but it's time. Of course,
oh yeah,
man, Sylvester Turner, our recent mayor of Houston, passed away this morning, guys. For those who didn't get that news yet, that's sad news. He was it had been revealed that he had been battling with cancer, which obviously must have returned in a devastating way. So, um, Sylvester Turner, at least so now I get it why, in a sense, why he wanted so bad to have his name to replace uh, uh, I thought it was Sheila Jackson Lee's spot. I think he took up there in the house, just because he kind of felt it. And then you watched him on social media every week. It seemed like he's doing a line dance at some party every week. He's line dance, and he was just dancing on the way, and you can feel it. And so he was going to live his best life, and which, Sylvester Turner, I got to meet him way back in '91, when he first ran for mayor, and we got defeated during that race. And think White. No, it wasn't White. I forgot who defeated him. But anyway, I met him back then. And good people, man. He came and supported the season opener for a couple of years. He came and showed up and made his presence felt. But that's the deal in regarding to Sylvester Turner. But we got to get up out of here, ladies. For all the ladies that was on the show, want to give a Women Rock Wednesday to you guys, and we thank you, ladies, for joining us. Make sure you share the show if you haven't done so. Share the show. Lastly, I'll give you guys a little something. If you plan on going to the state championships, I have 5 suites available. 2 beds in one room with a TV, got a kitchen parlor, and a pull-out sofa in the front room with a TV up there. You get free full breakfast, free full dinner, free drinks. That's margarita and wine, and free parking. And I got those suites but you must stay Friday and Saturday. If you're interested, you need to get at me ASAP, because I'm going to call the people by 3:00 Central Time and give the rooms back into the kitty. Those are
Was
in
these
San
suites
Antonio.
hotel suites or suites at the stadium?
Yeah, hotel suite. No, they can't come in my suites up there. I got a suite up there too in the state. They ain't gonna come up there. No, you ain't gonna come up there and sip out. That liquor that cost. No, you ain't coming up there. But hotel suite. The hotel is right across from the Papados at the airport. There's only one Papados in San Antonio, so don't ask which one. So that's the area, which you're right 1 block from the mall. You're right there at the Papados. If you're interested and if you plan on going, that's a hell of a deal for a suite in San Antonio. But you must stay Friday and Saturday. If not, and I just want to throw it out there. I always try to help you guys with a good deal. And Howard, you was out of town. You missed a good one Sunday. You know you don't really like to go to a lot of them publicly, but it was good and condensed. It wasn't like it was kind of like semi-private. But old Santana Dotson, I'm gonna shout out to him. He gave a good crawfish ball on Sunday. Yeah, boiled and bugs. That was my first time eating bugs, Alex. That was my first time eating them, baby. Hey, guess what it was? $20 all you can eat. Woo! I got iodine bars and I ate something.
I'm finna go get all I can eat right in a few minutes. How about that? Well, I'll see y'all later, man.
Let's go let you guys go. I'll see you guys on tomorrow.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter, you are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, we live.